New toy. Better clean the old desk up. Very nice. And the kids are going to be super happy with these. I'm sure many of you have heard of ACD Unlimited. This is one of their drive shafts, and I have to say I'm very impressed with the engineering on it. It's superb. I especially like the adjustment on the length of the bar. If you loosen these gently, it's on a ball and you can adjust them accurately every single time. So you just count your numbers, do the same on this side, and you can set it up equally every time. So I do like that. I haven't tried it out on the pedals yet. I've got the original bar here, which is still in good condition, and there is no, well, I say no, there's not a lot of play in that one. I've got an older one, and there's definitely some play in one of the universal joints on that, quite a lot. I'm not sure if you can hear or see that. So I want to do some tests. This pedal is obviously set up for the original bar. So I'll put that on. The boards are at the same height, which I can clarify with this. So the boards are at the same height there. The pedals are level, so it's all been set up. And at the minute, it's really dialed in. So if we do a couple of tests, with the boards more or less straight, it's pretty much equal. If we come in at an angle a bit, the slave side definitely slows down a bit. Now if we push them to the extreme and put the boards 90 degrees to each other, you can see there's barely any movement in the slave side at all. So with the worn shaft, first thing I notice is that this pedal's higher. So the shafts are actually, you have to set the pedal up to the shaft. So this one is a good 10mm difference in height. But we'll do the test. The board's straight. It's still pretty good. Bit of an angle. Again, the slave side slowed down first. Then at the extreme 90 degrees. It hardly moves. Now the ACD. Again, the boards are slightly out. This one's higher by about 2 or 3mm. So I need to set this up to this pedal. But as a test, I'd say it's about the same as the original. This is more of a realistic angle. It's still equal. And if we push it to the extreme, which I know is highly unlikely, but it just proves how much better this is mechanically. It's still really, really good. So when they're set up straight, I wouldn't say it was underwhelming compared to this, but there isn't that much difference. No matter what angle you set this one at, this drive proves mechanically that they are more advanced than these. So I'm confident that even at a straighter angle, there is less resistance than there is on these. So I'll do some play tests on it at some point and let you know what I think. But mechanically it's fantastic. So all I want to do now is set up this pedal to this drive. So in terms of gap, if you look here, from the baseboard to there, we're touching. If you look this side, we've got about a 5mm gap. It's the slave side that'll be affected in height. This will be set. It's where this bar is that sets the height of this footplate. So I'm going to leave that one as it is. This one's correct. It means to change this one. So we actually need to lower this down a touch. And the way we do that is to change the angle, which is this fixing up here. And that one, you can change the angle of the board. You see the height changes. So we'll bring that down. That's where we want to be. So we can lock that off. So now they're correct. You can see the beater height's changed. So now these are level. We now have to level the beater up. So to level the beater, we have to adjust the vary pitch. That's about there. So let's see what we've got. It's good. And obviously with a rather extreme angle on that. It's still good. So sometimes without this shaft, to balance these heads, you have to change the springs to level them off, or you might have to put a little weight on the beater, but that is just totally plain. Spring set to the same tension on an extreme angle, and it's totally free. So in terms of upgrades now, I think this pedal's pretty much there. We've got the hinge upgrade, which I think is a game changer on these pedals. It really eliminates any noise. The boards are solid. Same on the slave side. We've got the anchor on the front, stop that moving. We've got the dog legs in the beaters, which bring the beaters into contact with the head, so it's sort of parallel with the chain. And now we have the ACD drive shaft as well, which creates less resistance between the slave. I really like the spring and the feel of this pedal, so I'm not going to adjust any of these. I know you can get upgrades, so I'm going to leave that for now. I'm going to play it for a bit and see how it goes, but really happy with it, and I think that'll do us for now. This is the other pedal I've been doing some work on recently. You'll see a video I've done previously showing how I got it to move and what it was like before. This one was really bad, and the main issue with it was with this cam here. You can see on this one, I don't know if you can even hear it, but the bearing had totally gone in there. And also, the top of the spring, you can see there's the wear in it up here, which actually had created a flat spot on this spring and in this recess here. So that had an awful lot of friction going on in there. That's what was causing most of the problems in the pedal. But this one had 3 springs on anyway, so I took this spring away and moved the assembly onto this side. Other than that, I cleaned all the bearings out. Obviously the chain, I can show you what it was like here. The old chain needed a good clean, that's for sure. And once I cleaned that up, obviously lubricated all the springs, and now it's running really quite smooth. But the main thing I don't like on it is obviously the hinge. You can hear the movement in there, and you compare that to this. You can hear this, that's all in the hinge. So I really think the hinge upgrade is one of the main things for these pedals. But this one's now running smooth. This is the original bar on it, and like I say, it had some play in the joints, but it's still really quite smooth. Probably better than some of the modern pedals today. So I'll probably clean that one up a bit and then move it on.